you are listening to right now is a piece of media in the form of a podcast.
And it's cold. You know why? It's winter.
Winter is here.
Winter has come.
Winter is coming. No.
Winter has came.
Winter has came.
And it is 2019 now.
Yeah, new year, who dis?
Yeah, we got all the new shows. Not all of them. We sorted it down to 9 because we're still watching JoJo.
Because JoJo is amazing, and JoJo is not going anywhere.
Yeah, not until, like, the summer.
Yeah, not until it's gone.
But for now, let's talk about JoJo.
Yeah, by the way, this particular piece of media, it has a name. And its name is the Protagonist seat.
Oh, yeah, we're a new season. We should probably,
Gotta intro ourselves.
Yeah, this is the Protagonist seat. I am Alex.
I am Ian.
And we are here. We are two garbage warlocks that made a deal with our trash god that we would dive into the dumpster of seasonal anime. And now it's winter, so it's freezing in here.
It is super cold, but if you get lucky, you get a nice pair of gloves with only one hole in it. And it's not the hole for your hands. So, JoJo, Gold the Experience.
Beach Boys and Grateful Dead.
Yeah, they make an appearance.
They're in the episode.
We see Banana Man again. Man who looks like a plantain. And I guess his neck is made of rubber or something. Because, like, when his brother was, like, poking him in the neck.
I thought that was his chin.
I don't know what that is. This man, his biology makes no sense to me.
I thought his neck was like his chin, and then he was just chin. It's like head, chin, shoulders.
He is pure chin. It wouldn't surprise me.
The other dude actually looks as close as you can get to a mobster in this sort of setting.
Yeah, he looks like a mobster.
I'm like, hey, this is the first member of, like, the hit squad. Oh, I guess Formaggio kind of looked like one. Just kind of more of a thug.
Yeah. Yeah, so far it's been, like, a lot of weird thugs.
Yeah.
But we meet them. Our JoJo, our best friends, find a turtle with a keyhole in it.
That's where it turns out Boss guided them to. He said, hey, go to the fountain, use the key, and then get on the train.
And they do that. Turns out that you put the key in a slot in the turtle's shell, and it sucks you into the key because there's a room in there.
And then they're just going to chill out there the whole time while these angry hitmen are looking for them.
Yeah, because they can't find them because, they're in a turtle.
And they get sick of waiting, though, and the real mobster-looking dude decides to use his stand called Grateful Dead to just, which apparently the ability ages people.
Yes.
And then the other guy's stand, Beach Boys, is a fishing pole, which I guess can sense people through, like, walls and stuff.
It's like, I don't know, it's like a weird fishing pole that both senses life and also acts as some kind of lure and alarm trigger, and it digs its way into your hand, and it looks real gross, too.
Or I guess wherever it gets you, because it got the conductor guy and it got him in the mouth.
On his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross. But yeah, they get that dude, and then they start aging people, and turns out it also affects you inside of a turtle.
Yeah, because Narancia, who's been standing watch the whole time, starts turning into an old man. Yeah, he starts getting really annoying, like, this banana, I can't eat the banana, Bucharity. The banana, Bucharity.
The banana crumbles.
It crumbles in my hand, how do I eat the banana?
And everyone's like, shut up, old man. And then eventually they figure out, for little to no arbitrary reasons, that since they know that Trish is also on board the train, they are specifically targeting men by using their body temperature. Because I guess women have a lower body temperature on average, I guess.
Which I thought it was like the opposite.
That's what I would suspect, but apparently not.
I don't know. Any woman I've ever been with anywhere is always cold.
Yeah. So I don't get it.
Yeah.
Personally, but maybe they don't get it either. So that's why they wrote it like that.
But they figured it out real fast where Giorno is just, wait a second, I figured this out. It's all about body temperature. Whoever drank the cold drinks is fine. And everyone's like, oh, that's a fast mystery solved. Figured out already how to do it.
Oh, cool. We figured out the enemies stand nigh instantly.
Yeah.
And so they take their last two pieces of ice, Mista and Bucciarati, and they're going to go hunt down the men. They will hunt down the men.
They will. And then, well, Mista is actually the only one going.
Oh, that's right. Mista is going to go assassinate the assassins because his stand is super bullet gun fun time. Because
Sex pistols.
Sex pistols. Because being able to control the trajectory of bullets is super good in killing people. So he takes their last two ice cubes and heads out. But he is trapped because it turns out the AC unit was trapped by Beach Boys.
Yeah, he went to turn on the AC and Beach Boys was there. Now the lure is in his hand.
Yeah, it's real gross looking.
And we got to see what happens next week.
Yep, next week, stand battle.
Yeah. But as much as I love JoJo, this is a new season. Let's move on to the fun stuff.
Yeah, let's get to some of this new stuff.
The Rising of the Shield Hero.
Rising of the Shield Hero.
Everyone is an asshole isekai.
Yeah, I felt...
In another world where everyone's an asshole to me?
In another world, but everyone's a dickhead? I felt super bad for our main character. Like, from the start, he is SOL.
Everyone is mean to the Shield Hero.
Because everyone else, the other main characters are sucked
They
into the world.
should call it the bullying of the Shield Hero.
Yeah, the bullying of the Shield Hero. Because the other, there are 4 cardinal heroes, each with their own special weapon. Shield, sword, lance, spear, and bow. Turns out they all get summoned at the same time through varying sources of media. Everyone else gets a video game, except our main character, who gets a shield. Basically, he gets a book instead of a video game, and he doesn't even, like, really read the whole thing all the way through.
Also, he reads it out loud while he's by himself, and he commentates on it, which is not weird to do in public.
I mean, but he's not a shut-in.
I know. He's explaining
it
it to the audience, basically, but if you just walked by that and you just saw this guy like, huh, so they got this in there. Yeah, that's pretty much common for all these types of stories.
Yeah. Oh, there's a shield hero? I guess a shield doesn't really count as a weapon, but whatever. And he gets sucked in, but oh shit, he didn't actually read the book. He just kind of skimmed it. Even though he seems to know more about the story itself than the other heroes do.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the other ones just skip through the cutscenes.
Yeah, he doesn't know about the world itself, though, so everyone shits on him for it.
Yeah, because they're all from the game, and they're just like, oh, no one plays the shield hero but noobs.
Yeah, losers and noobs play the shielder. It's the shittiest class. And he's like, no. I'll just have to form up with you guys and make sure it's great.
Turns out, nope, they all have to be in their own separate parties.
Yeah, and no one wants to be in a party with the poor bastard because everyone's like,
It's like, do I want to be in the party with a guy with no real weapon?
Or do I want to be in the party with the dude with the freaking legendary bow, sword, or spear?
And of course, because the sword guy's a fucking edgy motherfucker.
Yeah.
His first thing is like, I prefer to work alone.
So naturally, he has the largest party. He has like 5 dudes. And he is the Sasuke. He is the Sasuke of this show, and everyone loves him, even though he doesn't want anyone
Yeah, but he's
him.
not the worst one. The spear guy's the worst guy.
Spear dude, you will find out very shortly that objectively, Spear dude is the worst dude.
Most punchable face.
Yes.
And
worst.
for some reason, he looks like male Mordred.
Yeah, he does. I thought that too, because he even wears a red jacket.
Yeah. He has like the same ponytail.
Yeah. So all the because they're like, hey, here's a bunch of adventurers. They will pick which one of you they will go with. No one picks the shield hero.
Which is another system where I'm like, hey, wouldn't you think it'd be better if you assigned people based around balance? Nope.
That would make more sense.
I feel like this kingdom doesn't even give a shit if they actually stop this, like, I don't know, is it like a demon incursion? It's something
Yeah,
stupid.
it's like there's a demon incursion through waves, and they weren't even actually gonna summon the heroes, but they fought the first wave themselves and were like, oh shit, this is actually gonna get a lot harder from here, so we should summon these poor dudes.
It's just dumb.
Yeah.
But
And
that's not what we're here for. We're not here for the actual stuff. We are here
yeah,
for...
fuck world lore.
Yeah. So he gets this girl to go with him out of pity.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I feel bad, so I'll join your party.
And because he's kind of an idiot at first and he's really naive, he thinks, wow, she must really like me.
Yeah, because of course he does.
Yep, and turns out she's just using him for his money.
She basically makes him buy her a better set of armor. They buy him a set of armor, but he doesn't keep that for long.
Yeah.
And then they go out and hunt.
Yeah, that's the one pity thing he gets. Since he has the smallest party, they give him the biggest, like, war chest out of all the heroes.
And it's only like $200 more. It's not even like that much more than everyone else. But they give him more money and he buys
gets more
shit.
armor. He tries to use a weapon, but turns out you are not allowed to even use a weapon as the shield hero.
Yeah, you can only use your legendary weapon when you are drawn into this world, which sucks real bad if you're the shield hero, because your offensive capability is your fists.
Also, he mostly just throws punches where I'm like, try just bashing with the shield.
Yeah, smash things with it. Use it as a club.
Yeah, because he makes it out like it's the worst thing ever, and I'm like, look at Captain America. Yeah, you can't throw it, but at least you can, like, body people with it.
Plus, his shield is like a point on the end of it, so he could probably, like, get some decent thrust damage with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially because he's fighting fucking orange balloons for the first episode.
Yeah, just pop them.
Just pop the balloons.
Anyway, so he ends up going with that girl for a little bit, and they party up for a bit, and she ends up one night basically robbing him and then accusing him of rape the next day, and we're not going to get too much into that.
Yeah, she's just like, hey, drink with me, hero, and he's like, nah, I don't do that. So then he goes to bed, and then he wakes up and all his shit is gone, including his armor.
And then he gets arrested and brought before the king, and then everyone's like, you're a scumbag, and then she's there crying, saying that he tried to rape her. And it turns out they're like, hey, this country is they were saying the country is...
It's a matriarchy that is still run by a king.
I was like,
with
yeah,
no queen.
Yeah, it's a matriarchy with a king, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I don't think the author looked up the word matriarchy.
It is a social matriarchy.
Yeah. And they were saying how under normal circumstances he would be executed, but he's a hero, and they need him, so they can't do that.
Hey, you piece of shit. Normally we would execute you, but you know what? We need you to fight the demons for us, so go be a piece of shit somewhere else.
And he can't go home until he gets rid of all the demons, so the other heroes are pissed, like, why would we have to work with a rapist? And he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go do it myself.
Yeah, fuck you guys, I'm leaving. Because turns out being the shield hero means you're real tough. He is... I mean, for the purposes of this, I will say basically indestructible.
Yeah, he doesn't really feel pain from being attacked.
There are points where the orange balloons just latch onto him, and he just leaves them there.
He uses them as a makeshift weapon if he needs them. He takes them out and throws them.
Yeah, because there's one part where he is trying to haggle with a merchant, and the merchant just massively upcharges him, and he's like, and I'll put you in my cloak with all these things, these weird things.
And then he becomes a way better character because he just decides to embrace being a scumbag and everyone hating him.
Yeah, and that's amazing. It is actually great.
And yeah, turns out also that girl knew exactly what she was doing and she joins the other dude's party, the easily manipulated, most punchable-faced spear hero.
It is a plot to take him down from within.
And he basically wanders around, and he's just kind of bumming around, and a bunch of people approach him. They're like, hey, shield hero, we'll join your party. And it's just, you just gotta buy us new equipment and stuff. And he's like, fuck that, buy your own. And then they try to attack him, and he throws orange balloons at him, and then he gets pissed because he has no offense ability. And then a creepy dude approaches him in a top hat, and he's like, do you want to buy slaves?
This dude looks like like a weird. He almost reminds me of a character you would see in like Soul Eater.
He looks like the mayor from A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, he does. And he's got like a weird mustache, and he's just, you want to buy some slaves?
We got these good slaves here.
You know, the best thing about a slave is that they are bound by a curse, so they can't betray you.
And he shows them all, and he sees a bunch of like creepy animal people. And then he stops at one where it's a little raccoon girl, it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, because it's, like, dark in this scene. So it's kind of hard to tell what exactly she is at this point.
Yep, but that's the one he's going to pick.
Because, of course it is. She's in the intro.
Yeah.
So he's going to pick her and be like, wield this sword for me, because I can't.
And that's him, and he's going to form a group of slaves to fight for him.
Yep. I feel so bad for this dude, but I'm glad.
We're going to stick with it because we want to see this dude fuck over everyone who fucked him over.
Yeah, and I like the show. It is something different.
Yeah.
Because it is a multiple isekai where up to 4 people from, like, different parallel universe Japans.
Yeah, they figure out, they all ask each other different questions, like, who's on the 100 yen, like, or who's on the 1,000 yen bill, and they all have different answers, and they're like, who's
the prime minister? And everyone comes up with something else. So they're like, shit, we're from alternate Japans. I don't know what that means.
Who won World War II?
Yeah. I thought that was the funniest question ever. But excuse me.
Yeah.
I want to see where it goes. I want to see this dude just, like, fuck things up. It would make me very happy.
You know what else I want to see where it goes?
Are you going to say The Promised Neverland?
Holy shit.
Shit goes down
This
in the
show,
first episode.
like, this was a really good... This was the strongest first episode on this entire list.
It is real good. Basically, it's a show about kids who live on a farm. No. It starts off with our kids. They're in this orphanage, and they are told, never go beyond the fence. Never go through the gate.
Which is always,
sketchy.
Yeah.
Sketchy as fuck. And there are, in particular, 3 main orphans we watch. The smartest orphans. We have Ellie,
No, it's Emma.
Emma, that's what it is.
Emma, Norman.
And Ray.
Yeah.
Ray is an edgy little fuck. But he's a skilled tactician.
They're all the smartest and the fastest, strongest. They're just the best.
They are the best kids.
They're the cream of the crop. They're the...
Oh, they're the cream of the crop. See the cream rise into the top.
Yeah.
That is these kids.
And they all live there. They spend their days just, playing tag outside, and everything's pretty good. They're all waiting for the day they turn 12 and get adopted.
And they all do, like, academic testing.
Yeah. So they're all trying to be smart, physically fit, and then get adopted and go off to their new homes. And they're like, hey, how come no one ever writes us back?
Yeah, they're probably all just having too much fun.
And then this little girl named Connie, she gets... Connie. She gets, it's her time to be adopted.
Even though she does not look 12.
Yeah, she looks youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's her time to be adopted, and she ends up leaving, and she's always carrying around her stuffed bunny, and she's saying to the rest of them, like, all right, bye, guys, I'll miss you, I'll make sure to write lots of letters.
I'm gonna write every day, because I love you guys. Nothing bad could possibly go wrong from here. Nothing at all whatsoever.
This is where my story begins.
And then we follow Connie as she is heartwarmingly adopted by a lovely elderly couple.
Yeah, it's a beautiful series. That was The Promised Neverland, finding, orphan kids getting adopted.
And it's beautiful.
And there's nothing more to talk about.
Nope, that's it.
Oh, but she did leave her bunny behind, and Emma and Norman decide to go bring her bunny. And it turns out, she is dead, and then there are these weird demon monsters that eat children, and this whole place is actually just a farm, and the children are livestock there, and they're getting shipped off and eaten, and holy shit.
Holy shit. Like,
fuck.
We see Connie.
Yeah.
We see, it looks like a rose bloomed out of her chest, and we see her in the back of a truck, and she is dead.
Yeah, she is super dead. they're looking around for her, and they peek into the truck, and it's just this scene where their faces are like just
utter horror.
And then after they hide under the truck as they hear people coming, and just these two monsters come out, and they're like, oh man, it's like, could I just have a finger? Come on, I'm starving.
Human meat for the rich. Holy shit. And it turns out Mother, the woman who's been watching over them in the orphanage, she's in on it.
Yep,
oh no,
she's in on it.
I want to know if she's a crazy monster in disguise, or if she's just a person who was like, hey, if you guys don't kill me and eat me, I will raise these children for you.
Yeah.
I want to know.
And then they get back, and they're both traumatized by this.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Because they are children.
And, yeah, they ended up almost getting caught, where one of the monsters is like, huh? And he thinks he hears a noise, and he looks under the car, and it's just the bunny that they brought with them.
And they are both running back. And the look on on Mother's face when she picks up the bunny is horrifying.
Yeah, she fucking knows. She
like,
knows.
Shit is... I can tell. Episode 2, shit's gonna be going off immediately.
And I feel like, what's-his-face kind of knows, Ray.
Well, Ray was listening in on them.
He was listening in, and he was, like, awake the whole time.
But Emma is like... Norman's like, yo, we gotta go. This is bad.
I noticed something. She is leaving holding a bunny, Connie. And then there's a bunny still back at the house. I don't think they made such a glaring mistake right at the beginning.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
There's because she leaves holding the bunny, but they find another bunny. They're like, oh, she left her bunny.
I wonder if that's gonna come back. If we're gonna find out that Norman left that bunny there.
I think it would be Ray, if anybody.
Or Ray, that's what I meant. Because at the beginning, it's the three of them as younger children outside the gate.
For the record, I know this is kind of a popular manga, but I have not read it at all.
I have not either.
So I'm not going to read it because I actually want to continue to be surprised.
Me too.
I did know that it was a series where basically children were fed to monsters. I just didn't know anything beyond that.
I knew bad stuff was gonna happen. I was like, all right, this is where we see it's idyllic. Now I'm waiting for the turn. And then, boy, oh boy, did it turn.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if later we're going to find out that Ray, because at one point Ray was like, actually at several points, because there's the low-lying fence, and they say that there's everything up on the fence is dangerous, and we can't go past there. Everything behind the gate is dangerous. We can't go through there. And both times Ray is like, yeah, that's a lie. That is just a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, he seems to be the most, kind of
Ray has shit going on in his head.
Ray seems a little bit ahead of the curve.
I like him a lot. And he's not necessarily edgy. He's just likes books.
Yeah, he's more just like hey, yeah.
Shit.
It's bullshit. Just don't even listen.
This place is a bad place.
Yeah. This is secretly a farm where livestock, they're going to eat us if we don't do something.
Yeah, so we gotta do something.
But yeah, they basically resolve Emma and Norman at the end to, hey, let's try to get everybody out of here.
It'll be like playing tag, a game of tactics against the monsters. So we'll see how well that goes, and we'll probably see some children ripped in half in the next episode.
So, looking forward to it.
Looks like meat is back on the menu, boys.
You know what else is on the menu? Love. Love is on the menu.
Even if you're a rich sociopath.
Yep, so Kaguya-sama Love is War. I didn't expect to like this as much as I did.
Me neither. I was honestly very surprised.
Essentially, it is a show about a guy and a girl. The dude is student council president, and he's very, very smart, and the girl is vice president, and she's very, very rich and talented. And both of them like each other.
No one wants to say it.
Yeah, because there's a power dynamic, because the first one that does is the weaker one.
The first one who admits their love loses, because both of these people are extremely tsundere. It is tsundere sociopath wars.
And every time, it's basically the whole show is anytime some little thing pops up, they have to, plan around it, where there's the girl who's sort of the secretary of the student council.
Who's fucking clueless.
Yeah, she's clueless, and she's just kind of working in the middle of them. And she comes in, hey, I have these movie tickets. Do you guys want to go see them? And it becomes this battle of, like, a chess game of the mind for how they deal with it.
It is amazing. Like, I love this so much because basically, like, one of them will make a move like, hey, do you want to go with me? And then, like, it'll stop, and he's like, damn it, I played my hand too early. Now she's going to suspect something. And then it'll cut to her inside her head like, oh, I know exactly where I can go with this.
Yeah, he wants this type of response, but I'll hit him with this. And he's like, wait a second, I can still turn this around by saying this.
Meanwhile, clueless secretary is like throwing in chaos theory because I love the way the Japanese say chaos. Chaos.
I also love that whole movie ticket thing even happened because the girl, like Kaguya, she fully planned it by having the tickets delivered to the secretary girl, and she, like, looked exactly like, all right, it's his day off on this day, so I'll make sure the tickets are specifically purchased for this day, and then they'll be brought up on this time, and I can go through with this conversation at this time.
It is all an elaborate game of chess. And they both lose that bout because it turns out after the secretary is like, oh, if you guys don't want to go see that movie, you can just use the tickets to see this other movie. And this literally shorts out their brains because they're like,
we didn't plan for this.
This adds so many new potential moves. I can't plan this. And then they race to a sweet bun at the end of the table, which the secretary eats.
Yeah, because they need more sugar to power their thought process.
And then they both short out, and they both lose.
But that is, yeah, and then the next one is, she gets a love letter.
Oh, yeah, she gets a love letter from someone who is a living weed. I don't know. I feel like there's something culturally there that I'm missing.
Yeah. But basically, she gets a love letter, and she's trying to use it to basically her advantage by being like, oh, maybe I'll go see this person, trying to get him basically to admit jealousy.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go.
And I think the thing he pulls is like, all right, so his first move is, I'm student council president, so I don't think we should, involve ourselves with, like, illicit relationships because we're on student council. And she's like, oh, but, this person went all the way out of their way to, confess to me. It'd be wrong not to. And then he pulls out, he's like, I'll tell a teacher then. We'll need a teacher's approval. And the narrator is like, telling a teacher, it is widely considered to be the most low tactic one can do.
It is a sacrifice of one's honor in order to gain the advantage, but his honor doesn't matter to him more than gaining the advantage in this one moment. And it's like, the narrator is so good in this show. So good.
He's like the mediator.
Yeah, it's awesome because he explains everyone's thought process and how everything connects and, the elaborate game of chess between these two crazy people.
And I think she basically loses that one.
Yeah, she loses that one because... what was it? I can't remember why, but she does lose.
Yeah.
And then... Oh, and the last one is the lunches.
Yeah. And that one, he doesn't even think it's like a love-related thing. He thinks she's just looking down on him because he's poor.
Yeah. She's looking down on my handmade lunch because it can't possibly compare with her elaborate ones.
Yeah, because her lunch, because she's rich, every day is prepared by a team of chefs and delivered to her at, like, school.
And at one point, the thing that sets this whole thing off is she sees one student giving another student a part of his lunch. And she's like, I want that.
But then turns out she obviously, because she can't just ask, like, hey, I want to try some of your lunch.
That would be playing her hand. She would lose.
Then the ditzy secretary girl's like, oh, I want some of that. Can I try it?
And he's like, yeah, sure. And this is like a stab in the heart to our vice president.
And he just keeps feeding her more and more of his lunch, and then she's just like, I thought you were my friend. If your life was in danger tomorrow, I wouldn't even lift a finger. She says all this in her head, obviously, but
She is ultra betrayed, and meanwhile the student council president he has no idea what's fully going on
because he just sees how angry she looks, and he's like, "Oh man, she's really pissed." He's like,
"What's this crazy aura coming off her?"
She's like, she really she despises me and my lunch just because of how poor and simpleton it is.
And one day she comes in with this super elaborate bento lunch, and it's got some of his favorite foods in it, and she's like, "Hey, I heard some of your favorite food is oysters." And in his head he's like, "What? No, she knows I don't have anything suitable to trade. She's just using this to look down on me more." And he's super crushed, and she's like, "No, I just wanted something you would like."
And then she loses it when she finds out he made lunch for the other girl.
Yeah, she goes ballistic. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta go to a meeting. All right, see you guys. And he scoffs down his lunch and literally sprints out the door. But then our good friend, the secretary, comes in. Last minute, best girl MVP. And is like, "Hey, I'll share some of my lunch with you. You want some of these hot dogs cut as octopuses?" And she's like, "I totally misread who you were as a person."
And she's like, "You are a human," because in her mind she's like, "You're living cattle."
You're living cattle. To her friend. This show is ridiculous and great, and I love it.
I enjoy it too. I am glad that it defied expectations, because I was just like, I don't know how they're going to make this gimmick last. I'm like, it's just the way they animate everything is so in-depth.
They go with super crazy backgrounds and, actual imagery. There's one part where I forget what
she has a knife to his back?
Yeah, they cut to, images of her with a knife to his back, or, they're both in this elaborate game of chess. It's very interesting. It is a visually interesting show.
Yeah, it's a fun watch. Something that has been an up and down sort of watch, Boogie Pop and Others.
Yeah, this show...
Episode 1 I didn't really like. Episode 2 was good. Episode 3 was okay.
Yeah, I agree. Basically, how the fuck...
Yeah, I don't know how to really explain it, because this is one of those non-linear storytelling series where episode 3 ends where episode 1 began.
Well, every episode, I think every episode is the same few days or a week or something, told from a different character's perspective.
No, because 2 and 3 were a linear flow. It's just... 1 was from the perspective of just this one guy who had nothing to do with it. And that's why episode 1 was awful. The dude had nothing to do with the actual mystery.
The only connection the dude has to the actual story is... Well, I think... Let's explain who Boogie Pop is.
I don't know who Boogie Pop is.
Boogie Pop is basically when something... Because I have watched this and I have watched the original 2001 anime. Basically, Boogie Pop is this thing that is willed into existence from the world, kind of like a death goddess or something, that basically possesses this one Japanese girl. And she comes in whenever there is some world-ending manticore thing. Basically, the first episode is told from the possessed girl's boyfriend's perspective. And he doesn't really do anything, and he doesn't really know anything.
He doesn't know what's going on, and he doesn't do anything, and it's a really boring episode.
Yeah, and he just kind of, talks to Boogie Pop a little bit.
What? What's happening? What's going on?
I feel like that's basically what his story is for. His is we need some way to somewhat explain what Boogie Pop is before we go into all of this. So we'll just have her tell her boyfriend. Or we'll have Boogie Pop tell the girl's boyfriend. Fuck, I can't... See, the show is already on episode 3, and I watched so much stuff this week, I can't remember anyone's names.
Yeah, we don't have to watch as much stuff anymore, though, because we filtered it a bit.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Basically, there is an alien named Echoes who was sent down from space to monitor the human race and be like, should we destroy these or not?
And they got caught by the government, and they made a clone or whatever of him, and the clone got out, and the clone's evil, and the
clone's a dick.
And the clone teamed up with this psychopath kid that just
who wanted to die, and the clone was like, "Oh, you want to die? Then I won't kill you then," because that's a thing that always happens.
Yeah,
I don't know, but basically they're like, "Well, we'll do this weird shit to people so that they synthesize this funky drug and we'll turn them into slaves, and then the manticore eats a lot of people. Oh, and the manticore can also turn into people after it eats them. So like it eats one of the schoolgirls and then it turns into her, and then that's basically its form for a while."
And then there's this other girl who's investigating it, who's
Nagi Kotaro. No, it's not Kotaro, but I remember her first name is Nagi.
Yeah, she is the daughter of a guy who wrote a bunch of books on serial killers or something, and she investigates it, and she is super cool, and then she gets beat the fuck out.
Yeah, because she's just like a person.
Yeah. She gets her throat slit.
By another person.
Yeah, by the dude who wanted to die, but now he's like, now I'm okay with being the murderer.
I'm gonna rule the world with the manticore.
We're not explaining this in a very cohesive way, but the show doesn't really tell it to you in a cohesive way. It jumps around. I don't know.
The show doesn't do that. I feel like this would have been easier if it like started with the rest of the shows this week, because we could have gone episode by episode.
Yeah, it's had 3 episodes so far, so we're trying to kind of cut that down into like talking about it in less than 10 minutes.
Because we have like all this fucking all this mishmashy.
There's 5 shows we still gotta talk about today.
All this fucking mishmashy information, but basically, dude slits cool girl's throat, and then Echoes transmits himself back to space, which
kills him because it was going to kill the manticore, but he saved the manticore, but then the manticore just goes crazy because she loved him.
And then Boogie Pop comes in and basically kills her.
Yeah, Boogie Pop basically strings her up with like the puppet string, and then this dude who really didn't have any like presence until this episode, he's in the archery club, just finishes it off.
I think he was dating a character I actually liked a lot more. Brown-haired girl who gets murdered in episode 2.
He was dating a girl who is dead now, and he gets to finish it off. But we didn't meet him till this episode, so I don't care about him.
I feel like he was around at points, but like I don't know.
And then girl with glasses was more important in this one because she was there.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people, a lot of stuff happens.
There's a lot of shit going on.
I'll give it another arc.
Basically, Boogie Pop uses thread as well. That's her weapon. She's got this crazy ass thread. But let's move on, because that probably didn't make any sense, and I don't know how to make it make sense.
Yeah, it's just next arc. If I'll give it. We'll
go through another one, see if it starts to make a little more sense.
You know what makes perfect sense to me? Quintuplets. Actually, it doesn't make sense. How does it happen? How's the genetics work for that? Explain it to me, Ian. Give me a doctor lesson.
Yes.
Explain to me how cells work.
Uh-huh. Division. Super Baby Project.
Super Baby Project?
The Super Baby Project.
The Super Baby Project.
It's the Super Baby Project.
The Snake. Super Baby Project. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, the Quintessential Quintuplets is about a guy who's very poor.
It's a harem anime.
Yeah, it's a harem anime about a guy who is very poor that needs money, so he tutors 5 really dumb sisters.
Yeah, who are all in danger of failing, and he doesn't even want to do it.
And he is very poor, by the way. He mentally budgets everything out in his mind.
He figured out that it is cheaper to buy, it's like beef stew without beef, than it is to just buy rice, because he goes through the mental mathematics in his head. But basically, he gets a perfect score, and then he runs into this weird girl, and they have kind of a shitty encounter.
Yeah, it's her first day, and she sits at his table, and they're... Because, you know, it's like the only spot open.
Of course it is. And he's kind of an asshole, because of course he is.
And yeah, so they're sitting with each other and they don't really get along. And then his sister calls him and is like, "Hey, Dad found you a job being a tutor for some rich family's daughter."
This will totally solve our debt problems.
Yes, this high school tutoring job will solve our family's debt problems.
That dude, that family must either have a ridiculous amount of disposable income or that father really fucking wants his daughters to pass. Because, to just be like... all right.
You know what? It probably looks real bad if all 5 of them fail.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks bad on you from a genetic standpoint. It's like, were your genes just bad that not one could succeed?
All 5 of your daughters failed. I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Basically, throughout the day, he runs into more of the sisters without knowing that they're sisters, and he's like, these chicks are all super weird.
There actually is a funny part where he's trying to, because he knows now, he's like, oh shit, I have to make things right with this girl, because I have to tutor for her.
She can't reject me or else I'll die.
And he's trying to get a moment where the 2 of them are just alone so he could apologize, but he's like, oh man, she's always with her friends. And so he's basically stalking her the whole way.
And then at one point, one of the sisters is like, "So is this one of your hobbies?" And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, this is just a hobby." And she's like, "Watching teenage girls is your hobby? What a creeper."
Then there's one that I really liked, which was the one with the green-haired ribbon on her hair, where she was actually the most open to him just showing up. She's actually ready to try and stuff. But
happy girl?
Yeah, but she's just an idiot.
Yeah, she is. She shows up at his table one day and she's like, "I found both of these papers. I'll let you choose which one is yours. One has 100 and the other has a 0.
And he's like, the 100? And she's like, how modest of you. You can have them both.
Yeah, and he's like, "Where'd you get this other test?" And she's like, "That one's mine." He's like, "You got a 0? How did you get a 0?
Yeah, I like her. Genki Airhead.
Yeah, I like her the best, I think, as well. Because they all have their own unique gimmick. She is dumb.
She is dumb, but again, Genki. She's super excitable.
She is real into it.
She's energetic, but an airhead. And then there's a girl who's just kind of chill with her headphones. Doesn't seem like too much really sets her off. Then there's the older sister one, whose character is older sister.
Yep, you have older sister.
Yeah, she's not, again, they're all like quintuplets, but she's just the older sister type. And then you have crazy one.
Yes, crazy.
Who drugs him.
Crazy girl who's like, "Don't worry." She offers him cookies at one point. She's like, "Don't worry, I didn't poison the cookies." And he's like, "Wow, these are really good." And she gives him a glass of water and he drinks it and she's like, "Bye-bye." And he's like,
which
"What?"
isn't creepy at all.
And then he wakes up in a taxi outside of his house.
Yeah, but one actually did bother to bring him there, because originally he's like, all right, that's going to be like 4,000 yen for like the drive, and he's like, I don't have that, and then she just basically runs it. And then
because that is, I will call her angry main sister.
Yeah, main girl, who's probably going to be the winner. The first girl.
Yeah, she will win this gauntlet of girls.
Yeah. And he shows up with her, and she's like, I don't need you to tutor me or anything. And then the little sister comes out and is like, hey, big brother, how'd your tutoring go? Fine. And she's like, oh, are you one of his students? Do you want to have dinner with us? And then she does, and it's like, hey, glad you're tutoring now. Now all of our debt problems will be fixed.
Yeah, little sister is just super open about talking about their crippling debt issues to strangers.
And the dad doesn't even look like he's his dad.
His dad doesn't...
That man looks very carefree.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
He's like, hey, yeah, it's cool. You brought home a girl. That's cool.
Yeah, good on ya. And then she feels bad for him, basically. She's like, well, shit. I feel bad for rejecting you, but I don't want you to tutor me. And he's like, this is the easiest job ever. All I have to do is make sure that at least one of them passes. I'm sure some of them weren't in danger of failing. Turns out, yeah, they all were.
Yeah, he's got to help all of them.
Yeah, so good on
And so we're probably going to have him help each one individually in a series of 2 to 3 episodes.
Probably.
Because that's how this genre works.
Generally. And people will war over the waifus. but main girl will win.
Yeah. Will me and Ian war? Who knows?
Maybe, just because I feel like our own unique tastes performed a certain gimmicks better.
Yeah. Who knows? Domestic girlfriend.
I connected with a lot more characters in this show than I thought I would.
It is the most drama-y drama show on this list.
Basically, our main character has a crush on his teacher, and it all goes downhill from there.
What if we rephrase it how things turn out? The main character has a crush on his sister, but ends up having sex with his sister.
Yes, that is what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. No, so the episode, this dude has a crush on his this dude has a crush on his teacher, and he ends up going to a mixer with some other kids from high school, and one of these girls that he just met is like, hey, you want to get out of here?
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And then they go, and she's like, hey, let's go to my house. Hey, you want to have sex? And he's like, okay.
That is actually his response to, sure, yeah, okay.
And thankfully, I thought this was going to be like a real like smut show where that we were just going to get like the full view of it, but nope.
Yeah.
It just kind of cuts to black, happens, and then he goes and he tells his best friend, who's just this dorky dude.
Who sits in the chair. He sits in that one rolly chair in his one room, and he's just like, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah. He hangs out with that dude, and he explains the whole story to him. And then he goes back to school, and he's trying to flirt with his teacher some more. Just kind of be like, hey, you can rely on me more. And she's like, I have adult problems. You don't understand these adult problems because you're not an adult.
And this triggers him kind of bad, because he had a similar encounter with the other girl who was like, I'm tired of people saying that they've got fucking grown-up problems and dumb shit like that. So that's why she didn't even want to have sex with him. She was just like,
somebody.
I want to have sex because I want to experience it and say that I've had sex.
And
the end.
Then they do that, and then turns out his dad, who is just a wholesome character.
He is just, like him and his new wife are just the cutest old couple ever. I love them. Yeah. I think they're great.
So basically his dad springs on him, hey, I'm getting remarried. Do you want to meet my new future wife and her daughters? And he's like, yeah, sure. And they're
coming over today.
And then they show up, and it's his teacher and the girl he slept with.
Yep. Together. They are sisters, and his dad is marrying their mom.
Yeah. And I do like the scene where they basically describe like the new mom used to be super like just because she got cheated on by her last husband, so she was super just
anti-men and angry.
But then because the dad, he's just so wholesome, he like would show up with like flowers all the time.
I will keep my persistence up until I melt your icy heart, I think is what he says.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
And yep, everything seems fine. Oh, and he also springs on. He's like, hey, he's like, you know what? Because he at first doesn't know how to feel about it, but then the girl he slept with is just basically like, hey, this makes my mom happy, so
yeah,
I'm just going to let it be. And then he tells his dad, hey, I think you should do the remarriage thing. And he's like, great, I already bought a house.
I bought a house. We're moving in tomorrow.
Yeah, we're moving next week.
Oh, thanks. Because I guess his dad has real issues with, like, planning things or letting other people know about his plans.
Yeah, and then he goes and tells his friend who sits in the chair. He's like, yeah, so you know how I love my teacher? She is now going to be my sister, and the girl who I also slept with is now my sister as well. And he's like, oh, I think you should give up on the teacher thing then, because that's what a normal person would do.
maybe you should back off.
Yeah.
Because that's extra weird now.
Yeah.
And
you can't do anything about what already happened, but you can not do anything. You can not make it worse.
You can keep yourself from making future mistakes.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's not entirely down with that plan.
Yeah, so they're living together now, and they all are adjusting to each other's presence. Like, the teacher comes out completely, like, naked out of the shower because she's used to living in a house of all women. And him and his dad are both like, yeah!
A typical anime man response, yeah!
And then after she gets super drunk, because this teacher drinks a lot.
Yeah, she seems kind of like an alcoholic.
Yeah, she drinks and then falls asleep, and then he's like, hey, maybe I should just plant one on her right now, and then I'll be, like, done forever.
Yeah, now's my chance. And just this once.
Yeah, which everything about this is not okay.
Yeah, A, sister, B, drunk, C, passed out.
Yeah,
all wrong.
Everything about this. And the second he's about to, the door opens, and it's the other girl.
And that's when it ends, on that lovely cliffhanger.
Yeah, and...
You know?
It's a mess.
Everything is a disaster.
This man is in a hell of his own making.
Yeah, he could, he's just gotta... All he had to do was just be like, all right, I just need to shift my frame of thinking. I just got, I can't do this.
Reevaluate my stance at life and just sort of, I can't do anything about what already happened, but it was fine. We weren't technically,
Yeah.
family.
Not at that point. All I got to do is
and
pretend
both of us
happen.
already agree we're never going to say anything to anybody.
And he acts kind of weird about it at points. And the girl, I believe her name is Rui or something like that. Something like that. She's like, look, if you're going to keep making this weird, I'm just not ever going to be around you ever. So see ya.
Oh, and then the part with... in the opening, you can tell there's going to be a lot of contention between these two sisters because you can kind of see them in the opening look at each other, and they're both like, you're my rival.
Yeah.
You're my fucking rival.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm looking forward to just this slow-moving car crash.
Me too. It's like watching a boat sink.
It's like watching someone else's... It's watching someone else's problems that you don't really have any stake in, and you kind of want to see how bad they can make it for themselves.
Yeah.
I want to see how much this dude can fuck up his own life.
Yeah, we'll watch this man slowly destroy his life as he deals with a sister he slept with.
I hope he doesn't ruin it for the parents, because you know what? They're just wholesome people.
Yeah, we gotta keep the parents together, but watch the son ruin his own life.
Yeah.
Also, the teacher is real flirty with her students, which is not great that is not great conduct at a school.
And then she's like all surprised when all of a sudden her students flirt with her back. It's like, hey.
Oh, you can't do that.
Then neither can you.
Yeah, it should be just as inappropriate when you do that. But we like this show.
Yeah.
I connect with the characters on various levels.
And you know what else I connect with? Magic Girl Spec Ops.
Oh?
Yeah, I fought in the Magic Girl War. Didn't you know?
You fought in the Magic Girl Wars? You
Yeah.
had your spirit and your magic knife?
Yeah, I did full-on transformation sequences and everything.
This show...
It was hard shit. I still have PTSD.
So does this girl.
Yeah. It's a show about a girl who's an ex-Magic Girl. Like, she's done. She's given it up. They've already defeated all the monsters. And now she's got a bunch of PTSD from that because these monsters were hardcore.
Yeah, it's like a Magic Girl show, but they brought it into a weirdly realistic space.
Yeah, so now it's about like Magic Girls dealing with domestic terrorism.
Yeah, because the Magic Girl
and international crime
is over. And there's also a part where one of the two of the weird monster things are like, hey, we abducted your parents.
It's like, we have abducted your parents.
We'll give them back
in
piece
pieces.
by piece.
Here you go. Here's your parents' hands.
Yeah, they fucking disappear and
like
leave
these
a box
cute little
with a
teddy
bloody
bears,
hand
and
in it.
yeah, they just murder her parents.
I also wanted to see more of the army fighting the monsters, because, like, watching weird, cutesy, evil monsters, like, tear men limb from limb.
Yeah.
Shit.
And her guardian becomes one of the dudes who was also a soldier who lost his arm. And he ends up basically pulling her aside. He's like, I'm putting together a task force.
Yeah, we're putting together a team. And naturally, she's like, I don't want to be part of your team.
I don't want to join the Magic Girl Avengers.
Yeah, she doesn't. She wants to hang out with her two new friends.
And I actually like seeing the scenes of Asuka at, like, school and stuff.
Yeah.
It's neat seeing her just like, I'm just trying to be a regular high school girl. I'm not going to think about, my parents being murdered, or, all the people I had to kill, or just all the blood and death.
All the horrible things I saw.
Yeah, she's even like, they're like, hey, why do you read so much? You should join the literature club. And she's like, I just kind of read so I don't have to think about other things.
Yeah, reading lets me not think about bad things. And they're like, oh, that is an interesting response.
Yeah.
It is. There is a part where she sees like a mascot selling balloons to a child, and she instantly just like flashes to one of these.
Like, it's just crushing like a kid's head, just.
Like, oh my god. And this show is stupid. Everything about it is dumb and stupid, and I love it.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
I like it. I like the absurdity of it.
It is ridiculous, because like the show plays itself so edgy and straight, and that only makes it so much more ridiculous.
I'm glad though that like the friend character didn't get killed right there, because there's a limit where you get so edgy that you just don't care anymore.
Yeah, and I like the friend characters.
Yeah.
I like both of them a lot. You have kooky track girl, and then you have sort of soft-spoken book girl. And they are both nice.
And she just wants to go to school, but I have a feeling she's just not going to be able to go to school and have fun. She's going to join the Magic Girl Avengers.
She's going to get... Every time I try to claw my way out, they pull me back in. Because basically, at the end of the episode, a domestic terrorist escapes from custody.
Yeah, and they're full on like, hey, what's the best way to get out of here? I don't know, just cause chaos. Shoot some bystanders.
We can escape in the chaos. Start shooting bystanders. And naturally, Mousy Book Girl is part of the bystanders. So Asuka jumps into action, and she's like, you guys can't do that.
And then she has like the shield thing that blocks bullets, and her blade is super powerful, and she goes full rules of nature!
Yeah, she shreks. For a girl who is trained to fight like 2-story cutesy demon monsters, she shreds through these men.
Yeah, I think she cuts through a tank at one point. Yeah, she takes out this dude's knees.
Oh yeah, the dude
the
who
main
escaped,
terrorist guy. Yeah,
she cuts his legs off.
She's like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna turn you back over to the police, and she just cuts him right at the knees.
And there was another dude that she like slashes up a whole bunch, and he just falls into pieces. And damn, this show is intense, and it plays itself super straight, and it's
and then we get like
silly.
I think a setup to like a main bad guy at the end, where it's like this woman, we don't see her face,
Oh,
but she's
yeah.
lying out on like tanning outside, and she's like, oh, I thought she retired from being a magic girl. And
Now
she has a
they'll
bunch of
have to-
henchmen all laughing near her.
Yeah, now they'll have to deal with us, the domestic terrorists, the antagonists of this series. I am kind of looking forward to watching more of this. It made me smile genuinely, which is kind of a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I liked it more than I thought I would. Originally, I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's just going to be edgy magic girls.
Yeah. And
Because there's so many shows in like the vein of Madoka that are like, hey, let's just make this edgy as shit. But you know
they don't do it as good.
I think it's still edgy, but it's fun enough. It hasn't crossed that threshold where it's like full despair edgy.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't.
Because if it can maintain this level of like shit is bad and intense, but like, not everything's bad all the time.
I think it's fun the more they play up the fact that she's like a grizzled veteran.
Yeah, this high school girl is like, I can't go back in.
Those were my middle school days. I'm out.
I remember actually laughing at that line. I'm done killing people. I'm past my middle school days. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. But we should move on. I feel like that's everything we have to say about edgy magic girls. Spec Ops magic girls.
Girly Air Force.
Girly Air Force. Girls are planes, and our main man wants to fuck them. One in particular.
Yeah, he wants to fuck a plane.
Yeah. Specifically, the human interface of a plane, AI, which I don't understand why they need.
Yeah, because apparently the world is being attacked by these things called like the G or It's XI.
Yeah, I think it's the Z. Cause
okay. X is Z, I think. Yeah, in Chinese, right?
Well, I think a lot of this stuff is Chinese based. Because, like, our main character and his sister are Chinese.
No, it's not his sister. It's his childhood friend.
Oh, his childhood friend?
Yeah, they're not related. Because she has separate parents than him.
Oh, that's right.
Because they were escaping Shanghai because this group called the Z go around and just blow shit up.
Alien planes like to...
No, they're not aliens, I guess. It's like they said they're like some kind of extremist group.
Damn. I really wasn't paying as much attention to this as I thought I was.
Yeah, they escape Shanghai, and then their boats are all getting attacked and blown up because that's what the Z do. They just attack people.
Yeah, that's all they do is they just blow shit up.
And then as they're running away, they see a plane show up out of nowhere and blow one of them up, which scares off the other. And he has an obsession with that plane because his parents were killed by the Z. They get to Japan to live with one of his relatives.
I think it's like his grandparents or something.
Yeah, his grandfather or something. So I guess he must be like half Japanese, half Chinese.
Sure.
And he wants to join the Japanese self-defense force to become a pilot to go fight the Z because he's angry at them.
He really hates them. And his sister's like, his friend is like, no, don't do that.
And then he's like, why won't you let me go and fight them? And she's like, because you are the only person I know in this foreign country.
Yeah, I'm not even living with someone I know at this point. I'm living with your grandparents. You are not going to go die in the military.
And as they're having this argument, it's like literally outside the chain link fence of the military base.
Because he saw them transporting the plane.
And he chased after it.
He chased it, and he was like, I'm going to I don't even know what his plan was. He's just like, I'm going to go to the military base and look at the plane through the fence.
And then they get immediately all... they get grabbed by the military and...
Because of course they do. Turns out the military doesn't like when people are standing outside one of their bases shouting at each other.
Yeah, it turns out they have cameras that actually can see the edge of the base.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
And they get brought in, and then this middle-aged scientist guy with a gun kind of has his blindfold taken off of him, and he's like, hey... what are you doing here? Who are you working for? Who are you a spy for?
Who are you spying for? And he's like, I was out there with my friend, and we were looking around. He's like, that's a shitty story. I should just shoot you now.
And then the plane starts acting up.
Because the scientists put together, like, hey, the plane activated when this weird kid was around it, and then the weird kid tried to hunt down the plane. Let's fuck around with these things and see what happens. Turns out the plane doesn't like that.
And the plane wakes up. Well, the girl gets out of the plane, and he's like, this is the plane.
This is the AI interface that we designed for this new high-tech plane. You can't fuck it. We didn't design it like that. So
don't even try.
So don't even try.
I know you're going to try, but don't.
You're going to want to try. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't. She's a plane.
And that's where it leaves off. Will he or will he not fuck the plane?
I think he's going to try.
He's going to try to fuck the plane.
But I don't think he's going to do it.
No.
I also think he's going to fly in the plane.
That's the era we live in. Girls who are planes. We've had girls who are boats.
Yep, ship girls. Just people are like, what can we make into a cute anime girl?
Turns out the answer is literally anything.
Yeah.
There is a game for girls who are food.
I play that game. I do play that game.
I tried that one. I wasn't that into it.
I like Milk. Milk is real good. Milk is Blue Star.
Milk is a
rare
freebie.
Waifu. She is, but she is generally the first 5-star. Anyway, this is not a Food Souls podcast, as much as I love that game.
No, it is a podcast where we talk about the price of smiles. Holy shit, this was a surprise. After episode 1, I was willing to write off this show as just your generic mecha that was going to be the same as all the other ones that came before it.
And it definitely feels like it. There is like this weird world that humans move to because Earth is fucked for whatever reason.
Yep, your typical premise, and there's a monarchy for no real reason besides having a monarchy.
Because there is. I feel like they even wrote it off in the first episode, because I think at one point...
They were like, we don't even need it anymore, but we still got it.
Yeah, we just do that because it's tradition. We needed it when we first came here, but we don't need it anymore.
And turns out this country is at war with another country, but the princess doesn't know. They keep that from her.
The Empire.
Yeah, the kingdom and the empire are at war, and so the show's mainly about the princess and her childhood friend Joshua. Yeah, Joshua, and he's basically her knight, and he ends up going with the rest of the soldiers on a, in air quotes, diplomatic mission.
Where they take a battleship filled with mecha and soldiers to fire diplomacy at high velocities at the enemy.
They are going to just assault them with diplomacy. They are going to storm the gates of diplomacy.
We will storm the gates of diplomacy with our standard, reasonable ideas, and we will pummel you. We will pummel you into reasonable agreements.
Yeah. And she's 12 and doesn't know how war works, so she's just like, oh, you guys have fun on your diplomatic mission. She doesn't know they're at war or anything.
Because she's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Turns out 12-year-olds are easy to manipulate.
Especially 12-year-olds who are sheltered.
Yeah.
And they end up going on their mission. Episode 2 is mostly just about Joshua. And while they're there, they have to defend this sort of canyon pass that's like the main invasion point between the Empire and the Kingdom.
Yeah, basically there's this one town that if shit falls, the Empire could launch a massive land invasion of the Kingdom.
And Joshua is, he's ready and willing to fight, and turns out the nobleman who was in charge of that was actually about to defect, but they caught on to his plan real quick. Yeah,
turns out he didn't do a very good job trying to hide it. And he gets fucked, and then everything gets fucked.
Yeah, everything gets fucked. The Empire starts breaking through, the Kingdom starts losing, and Joshua actually goes, because they're in a cave and they have a bunch of charges planted just in case the Empire gets too far and the charges don't go off.
Naturally.
So Joshua decides to fling himself at it and basically set them off manually.
And he does.
He does. He actually still lives from that, though. Like, he's still alive, but he gets, like, shrapnel stuck into his body.
Yeah, basically the front window HUD camera display thing of his mecha, it shatters and sends this huge shard into his side.
Which naturally probably should have a safety recall after, where they should reevaluate. Like, maybe we should have this so it doesn't just shatter into a million pieces. Like,
maybe we should stop using plate glass.
Yeah.
For our windows on our battle mecha.
Yeah. And he ends up getting saved by one of the other knights who are also children.
Because there's a lot of children fighting in this war.
Yeah. In fact, I see more children on this side than the Empire side, so naturally I'm assuming that the Empire is the more morally high ground group.
I mean, the Empire also probably didn't lie to their leader about going to war just so she wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah. That sounds so stupid when it's actually explained.
I mean, that's basically what, because he's like, I gotta protect the princess's smile. I can't tell her we're going to war.
Also, smile not protected, so it turns out Joshua, at first, he's still fine, but, like, he's got that glass in him, and they take him to a medical thing, and the princess is like, hey, I should call Joshua to see how he's doing. And her aide is like, hey, we need you to get in the car now. We kind of got to go do something really important.
Yeah, we're taking you somewhere very important.
And she's like, okay. And she's just like, oh, man, I wonder what I'm going to talk to Joshua and stuff about. And
I bet he's happy that I got the sunflowers to finally not die.
And then they get to the place, they get to the place where they were supposed to be meeting at, and all the two other child soldiers are out there. the child knights, and they look super sad. I say child, but they're like anime age. They're like 15.
Yeah.
So the other teenage knights are there, and they look very sad, like they're trying to hold back, their emotions.
Everyone is holding back tears, and she's like, what's going on?
And then they walk into the room, and the commander guy's there, and he's like, I'm sorry. he passed right before you got here.
Joshua fucking dies.
Yeah, he's dead. He's the guy they set up to be like, they set him up to right as he like dies to be the main character, where he's like, because his dad was like, I guess the best knight, and he's like, I'll show you, Dad. I'm gonna surpass you. I'm gonna be an even greater knight and protect Princess Yuki's smile.
Nope.
He's dead.
This show had like, especially with Joshua, had like a lot of sort of adult themes to it, because like he was dealing with the death of both his parents simultaneously. Like, he was orphaned and basically brought up by the government to be a legendary child soldier. That shit is crazy.
Yeah. And now we gotta... oh yeah, and she does not take that well, as you can assume. She
No.
didn't even know a war was happening, so basically...
Suddenly, suddenly we're at war. Sorry, we didn't tell you.
Hey, we were at war the whole time, and your only friend, like your best friend, is dead.
Sorry.
He died in that war that you didn't know what was happening.
There was nothing we could do.
Also, we're gonna be invaded by an empire because we just lost one of our most strategic cities. So get ready. Now you have to know about it because shit's about to hit the fan all over the place.
Hope you've been taking your chess sessions with your advisor seriously, because that's gonna be real in a couple minutes.
Yeah. So turns out not telling your leader what's going on is a really dumb idea.
Even when she's a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah. Because, holy shit, now they are in the worst spot, and at the end of the episode, we meet a different group of people from the Empire, and, yeah, we get to learn about them next week, I think.
Yep.
We get to see things from both sides, because the OP shows literally both of them.
Together.
Yeah.
Holding hands.
So, I guess these two want to come to... They're going to, at some point, try to come together and make peace.
Her and a private first class.
Yeah, I thought the other girl was maybe the leader of that country, but no.
Me too, because that would make sense.
Yeah,
the leaders.
Yeah, the two leaders don't want war, although realistically, I think it would end too quickly if that was the case.
Yeah, unless it's like, maybe she's like the daughter of the emperor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, she's a private first class. But like, this show heavily reminds me of Gundam, because it has large gun mechs that fly around on jets and have shields.
I mean, that's every mecha, though.
Yeah, it is. I think it's something about the Empire design that, like, really reminds me of one specific Gundam.
Yeah.
I like Gundam. And
I like the
Gundam.
fact that they were willing to kill off the guy that seemed like the main character.
Yeah. Like, that takes balls.
So now I'm actually excited to see what they do next week. This show went from being like... to, show me more. Show me more.
You had my attention.
Now you have my curiosity.
My curiosity. I didn't think I would be so excited for The Price of Smiles. But I guess The Price of Smiles is going to be a whole lot of bloodshed.
The Price of Smiles is going to be one dead country.
Yeah. So... This
is
week.
The start of winter 2019.
If
you're new here, welcome.
Thanks for showing up.
If you've been around for a while,
thanks for continuing to show up.
Yes, our apologies as always.
Exactly. We're so sorry.
And yeah, I am pumped. We got some good shit. I was worried it was going to be like a huge downgrade after the massive greatness of last season.
Last season was amazing, and I did also worry that we were going to get shafted a little bit, but we got some good stuff still.
I'm really feeling it.
I'm really feeling it. Fucking shock.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. Bring on new episodes. I need new episodes now.
Yeah, spend a lot of time watching a lot of shit.
Work those animators to the bone.
Work them till they die, as long as they finish my series.
Work them till they die. Work them for my pleasure.
Work them till they die, finishing my series about a harem. About a man who is poor but must tutor dumb girls.
Yes, and give me a proper ending. Have best girl win.
Best girl must win, or it is invalid. Do it again from scratch.
We will have you make the show 100 times. Have every girl win. Make it each time, but a different one wins.
Give me multiple endings.
And then make up some BS where it's all connected through timeline bullshit.
Give me time travel, alternate reality bullshit.
Give me multiverse bullshit in this harem about tutoring dumb girls.
Allow me to have all of what I want on a whim. Maybe I want the ditzy one to win this week.
Or perhaps next week I'll want the crazy one. You don't never know with me.
My whims change as the wind. So we've probably gone on way too long.
Yeah, we got another long episode this week, but we had like 3 episodes of Boogie Pop, 2 episodes of The Price of Smiles, and Rising of the Shield Hero had an hour episode.
Yeah, and how the fuck do you even describe Boogie Pop? I don't get it.
We
tried.
We'll see if we can figure out how to describe Boogie Pop next week on the next arc, and if we can't, maybe Boogie Pop's not like... Maybe we can't do Boogie Pop.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that Boogie Pop is not appropriate for it, it's just...
It's real hard.
It's like...
It requires those dudes that spend all day, decoding mysteries.
We're just 2 pieces of shit that can't phrase it right.
Yeah. But feel free, if you enjoyed, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter
at Protagonist Seat.
Yeah,
I think we'll fuck off now.
Yeah, I think that's it. See ya.